good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever the fuck you're watching or listening. Welcome to Tailgate Trash Talk NFL Draft Edition. I got my main man, Gary. Gary, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man. Excited to see how this plays out. Sounds like there's still some question marks about who's going first. I think everybody assumes Bryce Young, but the Panthers have not had any contact with anyone.
Yeah.
They're first on the board. I don't know why they think they got to hold on to a secret or something.
It's crazy, but it is Carolina.
Yeah, that's fair.
They have made some rational decisions in the past.
That is fair.
I've heard either Bryce Young or even Will Levis.
Yeah, apparently he told a friend.
Yeah.
If it's an actual friend.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see here. Oh.
Man. Who would you take if you were first on the clock?
Am I drafting for my Cowboys?
Ooh, no. If you're the GM of the Panthers,
if I'm
Bryce Young, Will Levis, who you drafting? Anthony Richardson?
Bro, if
and no, Mike, it's not a.
We're going to have the time of our life tonight if he gets drafted. And I mean, yeah, I mean, we know he's going to get drafted in the first round because everyone is just so high up on him for some unknown reason.
I still don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between Bryce Young and Will Levis, I'm picking Bryce Young, hands down. Now, don't get me wrong, Will Levis, he had some big games and everything else like that this last year. But look at what Jalen Hurts has done coming from Alabama. Kind of the same stature as Bryce Young. And obviously coming from Alabama, you have that championship mentality, that pedigree that teams are looking for. You have that mentality, that winning attitude. And apparently he scored like a 98 or something on
that cognitive test,
that Wonderlic test or something like that.
Yeah. Which is the same test that apparently is killing CJ Stroud's stock right now.
Yes. And did you hear his comment yesterday in an interview?
Yeah. Those tests mean something, though.
They do.
And you can say, "Oh, I play football all you want," but there's been a fucking 100,000 guys before you that just play football, and I don't know. I've never been a big fan of CJ Stroud, anyway. To be honest.
Yeah, you and me both.
So I don't know. Aaron thinks Finkel's going in the first round to the Cowboys.
I was for sure drafting again. Yeah. Aaron, you think they're gonna go defense, or are you thinking they're gonna build up their offensive line like they tried to this last year?
I think Dallas goes wide receiver, to be honest.
Heidi Gardner, what movie is she in?
I don't know. All the human joysticks coming up on stage, though. That's cool. Got Dante Hall up there. Look how small that dude is.
Uh-huh.
He was untouchable, though. Oh, they got the big dogs coming out.
I'll say hi to Gary.
Hi,
Gary. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yeah. Are you supposed to be in bed?
Yes. Okay. Everybody say hi to Gary, and then it is bedtime.
Hey, kiddos.
Hi, Gary.
Whoa.
Gary.
All right.
Hi, bud.
Be right back. Let me get them down.
Yes, sir.
I'll be right back.
Sure. I think you got a few minutes before the first pick anyway. They got to put on the show here.
All right.
Where are you, Gary?
I'm at my house, Pumpkin. Yeah, Aaron, defense, I could see that. I could see defense for the Cowboys. I just think they're dying to have a good wide receiver tandem out there, and they've gone through all of the Gallup can't stay healthy and yada, yada, yada. And CD, for as good as he is with the ball in his hands, it's hard to get the ball in his hands because he drops the ball so damn often. I just feel like they're going to try to pair together some more receivers. I think they're seeing – the NFL is kind of seeing what, the Chiefs have done with success in volume after losing Tyreek Hill, what the Bengals have done with that wide receiver core, what the Eagles did this past offseason, trading for A.J. Brown. It feels like the NFL is in sort of an arms race, and it's at the wide receiver position. So I just think it could be wide receiver for the Cowboys. Yeah, I look at this too with the Eagles. They're about a year away from having to just completely blow this thing up because of the way that Howie's handled the salary cap. They've been really strategic maneuvering for this window that they opened over the last couple of years, and they're not going to be able to sustain it. They already have lost some guys this offseason. They're going to continue to hemorrhage people based on money. But you look at the picks they have too, right? They have the ability to make some picks. My biggest thing is Howie doesn't have a great track record in the first round. So we'll see how he does with those picks this year. But, his history doesn't tell me that I should be too scared as an NFC East fan that the Eagles have a bunch of draft picks. Hey, Mo.
All right, I'm back, bud. I'm back.
You're good, bud. You're good.
I
Good to see you ones anyway.
I caught the tail end there of Aaron's comment, and if Robinson drops to the Eagles,
yeah. I wonder if they would take a running back. I feel like they're a bit arrogant about that position. And probably rightfully so. They've got a quarterback that can kind of change things for any running back. But if they add Bijan to an offense that you can't really load the box because A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts can kind of get outside the pocket on you too. You can't really load the box against, a good running back. Bijan might be a 1,500-yard rookie.
So let's talk second pick here.
Yeah.
Houston Texans.
Yeah.
They've been pretty quiet as well, but they've also, I think, came out and said that they're not drafting a quarterback, and they need a quarterback.
Yeah. I heard it earlier. If Houston leaves the first round without a quarterback, it's clear that they are 2, 3, 4 year planning it. And to be honest, this draft class for quarterback on the surface looks stacked, but we've seen this in the past where you go back to like the Jake Locker draft.
Yeah.
Almost nobody from that draft survived, and there was 5, I think, quarterbacks picked in the first round that year. Teams trading up to get quarterbacks like crazy. The Vikings traded to get Ponder. You had Jake Locker go that year, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they don't like any of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I would have thought that they would have been first to the table to try to get that first pick away from the Bears. Yeah. And then you look at what the Bears could have done trading out of 1 and then again trading out of 2. I feel like that would have been the best value proposition for the Bears. So I think we could see them go Will Anderson. Might be a good idea because you look at where D'Amico Ryans came from there in San Fran, where they had 10 guys that could rotate on the defensive line. And maybe that's what he wants to try to recreate to a certain extent. And maybe that's where he and the GM are kind of in lockstep.
Yeah.
And then maybe at 12, you see them go quarterback. If say Bryce Young, Will Levis, and maybe Anthony Richardson, right? If the Colts decide they want a guy who gives them something like Jalen Hurts, because they've got that Eagles connection there with their new head coach. Maybe a guy like CJ Stroud can slip to 12, or maybe Houston, if he slips to 8 or 9, maybe Houston then pulls the trigger and trades up. So it could be. And don't sleep on the Titans kind of sneaking in here too and making this interesting with quarterbacks, because they're clearly done with Tannehill.
Yeah.
That experiment's over,
Yep.
So they're probably I see them moving up to trade with Arizona and get Will Levis. I think he fits that offensive scheme. And that could really throw a wrinkle in the whole where does everybody slot in terms of quarterbacks, because then other quarterback needy teams might then feel the pressure to move.
Sure. It will be. So real quick, Panthers, this is the second time that they have their pick. The first pick was back in 2011, Cam Newton quarterback. So I think it's pretty clear that their second overall number 1 pick is going to be another quarterback here.
Yeah.
But Aaron, where does Hooker go in the draft? That is a great question. And if I was a GM right now, obviously I'm still concerned about the knee and everything else. You don't know how he's going to come back from that knee injury and everything.
It's not his first experience with knee issue either.
Correct. So I think you're going to see Hooker go probably down, unfortunately, just because of his injury-prone issues. But if I'm drafting a quarterback, I'm drafting Hendon Hooker over freaking Anthony Richardson. I don't care how injury-prone.
Yeah.
I
think someone's going to sneak Hendon Hooker, maybe even as late as day 3. I just don't know how much teams are going to be worried about those knees. But I think in the NFL, you teach him that, be a little more aware in the pocket. He's not a guy that's going to try to run around a lot. And you get him to kind of, manage the pocket in the NFL and let these professional offensive linemen protect you. And maybe you can start, because he's got so much arm talent, and he is a guy that can make good reads on the field. I feel like some team somewhere with a vet, maybe it's maybe it's the Raiders, right? Because they just went and they don't have a lot of 5-year plan on their roster.
Yeah,
let him sit. Is health an issue there that maybe he sees some time in his rookie year? But Hooker is one of those ones that I think is going to be interesting. I think we're going to be watching him possibly even on day 3 saying, holy shit, who's going to get this guy and have a possible steal in a really late round.
Absolutely.
They've all been hurt. It's not if they're going to get hurt, it's when. That's why I don't worry about the durability so much. I worry about when he plays, can he be consistent? Can he be the guy you want him to be? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, everyone's operating under the assumption that it's Bryce Young, but imagine if it really is Will Levis.
or even worse, Richardson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you go take the false ceiling guy. Oh, here we go. Who did they pick?
With the first pick,
Bryce Young.
NFL draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young,
Yep.
quarterback, Alabama.
I just don't understand all the secrecy.
No, not at all.
Maybe they just felt like they wanted to surprise him on draft night or something. I don't know. Remember when they used to have contracts in hand?
Oh yeah.
First pick. In some years, even the second pick had contract negotiated already.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And too, like the pick is in. Like the pick's been in for 3 minutes, and you still haven't announced it yet. Like
Yeah, they take their sweet ass time.
yeah.
So my dad's wondering what the Bills should be looking for in this draft. I think it's wide receiver and running back.
Even running back, and I'd say even some offensive line too.
I think you certainly could use some depth on the offensive line for sure.
I'd actually
safety. You got safeties that are, what's that?
I'd actually go wide receiver, offensive line before running back.
That's fair.
You can go get a free agent running back out there. You can probably draft a running back late here. Your running back's not going to do shit if you don't have a good offensive line.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they could use some help on the O-line. Safety's another spot I think they've got to pay attention to as well because they've got those, older safeties been nicked up a bit. So they definitely, I think, need to get a little younger at safety. So what do you think about this situation that Bryce Young's going to in Carolina?
I think it's a shit show. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
I feel bad for him because they traded away DJ Moore too, right? Like you traded away your only viable fucking weapon. That little kid drama. You want to say hi to?
Bryce, your parents said that from the moment you touched the football at 3 years old, they knew you were destined for this. What's it like to be standing on the stage like the number one pick in the NFL draft?
It's good. It's a huge Coach, I'm blessed. I want to thank God for my parents.
Yeah, so
it was my name being called.
Carolina is probably almost like
When you met with the
Vegas,
we talked about their
or even the Texans.
What impressed
Yeah.
you about them?
It's just you're going into an organization that there are a lot of unknowns. And trade away their best wide receivers. Is Baker there? Is Baker still there?
No, he's down in Tampa now.
He's down in Tampa now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Carolina actually surrounds him with, because was it last year or the year prior that they just kind of started letting everybody go?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a weird. So, Matt Rule was trying to build, but they just weren't able to figure out the quarterback position, and they took shot after shot at trying to retread veterans. So,
you're dealing with the old head coach,
Yep.
Carolina there in Washington.
Yep. Yeah, who left the cupboard pretty bare.
This pick is going to be interesting.
This could certainly make the next. So Arizona's kind of in the catbird seat, because if Houston goes defense, then we're talking trades are wide open here, because you got these quarterback needy teams that number 3 has always kind of been the place that they thought they could maybe get to.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we'll see if we get the big surprise. Right now, Green.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you. And so for the last several weeks, Mel, the suspicion here has been that they would go defense. If the Texans were willing to eschew the opportunity to take the future quarterback, you hear them suggesting that they're settling in on the offensive
Too
side.
much time for their on the clocks.
Yeah, it's just you got to put on a show, and
I know, but
it's just so much though.
it is. It is.
On picks.
Yeah,
That's what we're here for.
exactly. It doesn't take that long to. I mean, Texans know who they're picking.
Right.
I mean,
The pick's already in.
the pick's in.
Let's just say it.
Yeah, let's.
I think the biggest thing about this pick is if it's going to be a quarterback, you have to be willing to go ahead and invest the time to make sure you have a great relationship with whoever this quarterback is. Have a rock solid plan for how you're going to develop him, whether he's going to be a day one starter, you're going to make him compete. But I'm telling you, the relationships matter. And this
It's got it. It's going to be Will Anderson.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm.
Oh my God, are we going to fucking commercial?
No.
Okay. They panned out with the camera from the drone, and I was like, Jesus.
What? What?
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I thought they had kind of gotten off of him. I thought it would be Will Levis or Will Anderson.
That's exactly what I thought.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so who's third now?
Interesting. So Arizona's on the clock now, but
They have a quarterback.
I feel like they might stay now and take Will Anderson because
Yeah,
that's a big need for them is edge rusher.
absolutely.
Interesting. So this kind of puts Arizona in a bind where they have to decide whether they trade out or they're going to take their guy.
Wow. I didn't see CJ Stroud coming.
I didn't either. I mean, 5 weeks ago I would have said so, but the last few weeks the momentum has just shifted hard on him. Interesting. I didn't see that coming.
No.
Not after the last few weeks.
No, and especially
I really thought they'd moved on from him.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is this where the Titans come up, or the Cardinals going to make their pick now?
If I'm the Card, well, you got a new head coach.
Yeah, new GM, new head coach.
GM. You have your quarterback for right now.
Yeah, but he's going to be out for a few weeks. So do you try to play defense to help the team stay afloat?
I do think they go Will Anderson here.
Yeah. You think they stay pat, make their pick?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad thing because you look at that division too with the quarterbacks that are there. They can really terrorize some teams if they can get a guy like Will Anderson. CJ Stroud went to Rancho Cucamonga. It's one of the best teams in the world. It's awesome. There are times I watched CJ Stroud and thought, man, okay, this guy can play a little bit. And then there would just be long stretches of games where I'm like, is this guy even a fucking Division I quarterback?
The Georgia game that they're showing right now, the Georgia game, he definitely put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was
where
great in that game.
Yeah, that's where.
But then he got blown out at home against Michigan.
True, and honestly though, you look at he made some throws, but at the same time, like he had a fucking outstanding.
Oh my God,
crew.
Smith and Jigba. He played with Olave last year.
You also
Harrison is unfucking believable. Yeah.
So I mean, those guys. I mean,
Garrett Wilson the year before. Yeah, they've had a lot of fucking big time wide receivers that he's played with. Paris Campbell.
Yeah.
It's not on me. He scarred me. So I've been battle tested. I have the armor of God on me. So everything I've been through is preparing me for this moment right here.
From this big stage here, what would you say to all the young boys whose life doesn't always go smoothly?
Man, believe in yourself. I was at a point where nobody believed in me, but I put my trust in God and my family. And what I did, I had discipline and just consistency. Man, you can do anything you put your mind to. And that's a living testimony that you can really.
Good for him, because I think this could have gotten to a point where he would have hung around for a while, possibly,
Congratulations.
if the Texans hadn't taken him. Because I do think the Colts are pretty set on taking, although Levis being available now, I don't know if they'll go Levis, or are they going to go upside with Anthony Richardson? I don't know. I always kind of pegged Anthony Richardson in for the Colts.
So how does this affect them at 3? Randy, we're gonna have another trade with Houston coming back up.
Houston's just trading into Arizona.
Houston's coming up to 3. They're going to get Will Anderson.
Get number 2, go number 3, and have it be the top defensive player in the draft. The Houston Texans.
Daddy, brush your teeth.
Wow. Houston making moves, huh? Okay.
Lacey, I have not brushed my teeth yet.
What's that?
Lacey, I have not brushed my teeth yet.
Josh has not brushed his teeth yet.
Arizona taking Call of Duty to help support Kyler.
Oh, my God.
This is a bold move by Houston here.
Yeah. I like it. They knew who they wanted. They went and got him.
I want to know what they're giving up, though.
Yeah, I'd be curious because they've got 12, so you're not moving like crazy.
No. So you probably trade that and maybe like a third or fourth round.
Yeah. Maybe a 2. Thank you. Maybe a 2, possibly. I don't know how hard a bargain Arizona's.
There you go, Houston. There you go. You trade, you're on the clock, picks in.
Picks already in. Let's go. We might make it out of the top 5 by 9 o'clock. Yeah, this is. I like this move. I like this move.
You have to have the right quarterback, and D'Amico comes from San Francisco now. And what did he have?
Yeah.
He had the right type
You get your quarterback, and you get a guy that can rush the quarterback.
Yep.
I like it. And then Indy still kind of has their pick of the litter almost. I'm curious now, where does Indy go? Do they go with the more pocket passer in Levis, or do they stick to what their head coach knew in Philly and get a guy who's mobile like an Anthony Richardson?
It will be interesting. I'm going to say, I mean, you know my pick. I know your pick on this, but I think they're going to go with one that we're just going to lose our absolute minds on.
That'd be the most Colts thing to do, though.
It would be. They're pulling a Washington.
Colts thing to do.
Bryce Young has gone 1. C.J. Stroud has gone 2. The Houston Texans have gone up to number 3, and they're about to make the pick. I'm told Roger Goodell is making his way to the stage any moment here, and we will see what it is the Texans have.
Well, Raj, just stay up there, bud. Stay up there.
Jalen Carter, who now has at number 1 on the big board. So many questions.
Heck of a pour there, bartender.
We're going to find out right now. Here's Roger Goodell with the 3rd pick.
She takes good care of me.
Good.
Appreciate it.
With the 3rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.
I want to see the trade terms.
Yeah.
Will Anderson Jr.
I like the pick. I like what they did. You know, I'm not big on CJ Stroud.
No.
Like some people are, and clearly like they were, but I'll always say you're gonna chase quarterback until you find one, and if you like a guy, you go get him. It was the same thing I said when Washington traded for RG3 back in the day. Like, I don't care how many draft picks it was. I don't care what you gave up, what you did. If it's a guy you think is going to be the guy, now clearly Dan Snyder had his fucking fingerprints all over it, and Mike Shanahan didn't even want to draft RG3. But I just if you think CJ Stroud's the guy, then Houston definitely that's the guy you go get.
Yep. Aaron's right. Richardson needs to sit and develop a couple years under a vet. So if you're looking at it,
he's not getting that in Indy.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he's going to be day one starter probably in Indy.
Detroit, not so much with Goff. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Richardson needs like 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah. 2 years
before you try to throw him to the Wolves. I think CJ Stroud is definitely going to be a starter day one.
Well, he kind of has to be there in
yeah, I mean, they still have Davis Mills, but I don't see any way they go with Davis Mills this year.
No.
So this must have just been the thing in the cards, and that's why people got confused on the Will Anderson versus quarterback thing with Houston. I wonder if there were some leaks inside the building that they were going to try to come back up to get Will Anderson, and everybody misread the signals.
Yeah.
But this Indy pick could be really interesting because they need some help defensively too. I think a guy like Jalen Carter could be there, but who the fuck plays quarterback for them if they don't take their quarterback, you know? And they've been very overt and very in your face about
who
their choice for quarterback.
Yeah.
If you ever watch the San Francisco 49ers practice, and D'Amico was the defensive coordinator out there, obviously, and you ever watch Chris Kacerek, the defensive line coach out there, coach the defensive line, I am just telling you now, it is not for the
Which quarterback? So you think they go with Anthony Richardson?
I think they're going to go Richardson.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If I'm going for a quarterback here, out of Levis and Richardson, I'm going Levis, obviously. But I think they're going the opposite direction.
Yeah, I agree. I would go Levis here.
Mortensen just looks old.
I thought he was going to retire a few years ago, to be honest. After the he had a stroke, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
Which stinks because he used to be.
He was really good,
and he's still a really good reporter. But he just, you can tell that his faculties aren't all there.
Yeah.
Keep a close eye on here as we wait for that. In the meantime, am I told Susie is ready?
Pick is in.
To the stage, and Susie Coburn has Will Anderson. Susie.
Now we got to do an interview.
Have been building all day.
Just tell me who the pick is.
Anderson family that the Texans traded to come get you.
Man, it means they just see how special I am. I'm so appreciative of the home coaching staff, the GM, the owner. Thank you for this opportunity. You won't regret it. I'm going to work my butt off every day, stay true to who I am. And man, to my family, thank y'all. I love y'all so much for all the work and love that y'all gave me, the support. I'm so
Did you see the inside of his jacket?
Was that with his grandma?
Yep.
Yeah.
Smart. They know
Eddie.
Yep.
They know how they want to give. They're good people. And for me, that's what I want to be around, good people.
And he goes to Bama guy.
Bama South Side, that's what we call it, baby. That's what we call it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
That's funny. I forgot D'Amico Ryans went to Bama.
Washington in 2000, the Colts in 1992 were the others.
Seahawks are on the clock. We haven't announced the fourth pick yet. So I like that style. I do like that. They're already starting the clock. Pick hasn't even been announced yet. So
let's keep it moving a little bit at least.
Yeah. In the words of Pat McAfee, how you doing? Keep it moving.
How you doing? Keep it moving.
Steichen is one with the pocket guy with the big arm, and Herbert is one with the guy who's the dual threat, and Jalen Hurts. They have tried so many ways in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not kidding. You're not kidding, Raul. Unexpected. I did not think that we would see that happen. But, you know, I like it. I like it. As I said a moment ago, my feelings about C.J. Stroud as a quarterback at the next level aside, you got a quarterback, and clearly it's a guy they like, and you got a guy who can rush the quarterback, who's the best in this draft at doing that. He was the best in college football the last 2 years.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, that is the most Colts thing that they could have fucking done.
You go 0-32. Or actually, it's more now, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be 34?
34. 0-34.
Oh, my God. That's just – I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I get the physical tools, right? Like, let's not pretend that he's not a fucking freak of an athlete. But he is not a quarterback. I will fucking reiterate that until I'm blue in the fucking face. He is a hell of an athlete. He is not.
I think, to be honest with you, 4 years down the road, he's going to be playing receiver.
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mel just said it. Missing layups.
Missing layups.
You can't miss layups in the NFL.
Good calls.
Next week against Kentucky, he goes from 71%.
Good for you, Colts. Good for you. You know, Gary and I have been preaching this since like week 2. Tailgate Flash Talk.
Yep.
Whatever GM drafts Anthony fucking Richardson should be fucking fired.
Chris Ballard staking his reputation on Anthony fucking Richardson.
Guess what, Ballard? You just got put on notice. Stupid.
They're already out with the tailgate, folks. Yep. Go Colts. The most Colts thing you can do.
Yep.
Crazy. Man.
He can complete the football down the field. And talking to the coaches down in Florida, Greeny, they simply said he hasn't played enough.
Seahawks. They defense or offense.
Hasn't played enough football. The guys in Florida, the guys that just coached him, said he hasn't played enough football. By the way, does it not feel like they added more time to the goddamn clock? It feels like 10 minutes ago there were 8 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, you know.
We were praising him and giving him credit. Don't compare him to Donovan McNabb. God damn it. Good Lord. Donovan McNabb completed like 80% of his passes in college. Jesus.
Oh, let me guess. This is Mel Kiper speaking.
Yep.
He can do the same things when he was at Philadelphia. You're gonna tell me that?
Right, him and Todd McShay aren't out drinking a beer together. Sorry, Todd McShay.
I hate the answer that I'm about to give, because the draft board, I think, is falling the way of Bijan Robinson is going to be wearing fucking Eagles green next year.
Unfortunately, that's what it's looking like.
Because I maybe Detroit, but I don't think they're in the market for a running back, especially not this high. I think they like DeAndre Swift, but he can't stay healthy. Vegas, they've got Jacobs. I don't think they're looking, and I think it's just the draft board is falling that way that it's probably going to be Philly.
Fucking Cowboys, Gary.
They'd have to make a move. They're going to come up.
So
They gonna
much
come up
about
and get
this
him?
night is thank
No.
you to help shape
Yeah.
the journey. And there's an image tattoo.
I also-
on the
I mean,
arm. Tell everybody
Pollard
what's
coming off the
happening.
injury, but I still think they've got a guy on their roster that can be a 2 to 3 down back, and then you get one guy that can kind of pound the rock when you need him to. And a lot of those guys, you can. I mean, the Lions will tell you they got Jamal Williams who pounded the rock for them. So
Let's take our time here, Seahawks.
yeah, are they shopping it? They must be shopping it. They must be shopping it.
They were told to take some time here because they're trying to.
They got to milk that TV time.
It's 8:45 here.
Yeah. We can't get this 5th pick in before 9 o'clock, damn it.
You know,
And we're going to go to commercial. Oh, shit.
well, if they're going to go to commercial, let's go to a little commercial break here.
I like it. Get these sponsors in here.
Yep, get the sponsor in here. Brought to you by PocketPairClub.com. Pocket Pair Club, club number 26881. For all your gambling needs, please gamble responsibly.
I thought there was an outside chance just to kind of wax a little bit about, I don't love the idea of it being the Eagles for sure, but I thought there was an outside shot that the Seahawks might trade back, but I mean, they're milking the clock. I think they are trying to shop it. We might still see a trade here, but nope, pick is in. So I'm a little behind if you guys are ahead of me on that, but I think I'm like 8 seconds delayed for some reason. The DC area is a little mean to me about Stove stormed off. Fucking Anthony Richardson. Ruined the day. Ruined the entire fucking day. But I think the Seahawks go Jalen Carter. I think it's the right pick for them. They need a presence in the middle of that defense. They hit on so many picks last year. I think Jalen Carter's the right pick. They've got a lot of draft capital as well after obviously the Geno Smith trade. This is the pick they're making, or Russell Wilson trade. Geno Smith filled in swimmingly. This is that Broncos pick, right? They're kind of living on borrowed money here, playing with house money. Jalen Carter just feels like the right pick for the Seahawks here to fix the middle of that defense. They got gouged against the run quite a bit last year at times. In the playoffs, they really got shredded a bit defensively as a whole. But that ground game, that defensive ground game, not great last year. They re-signed Bobby Wagner, which helps, right? You get that veteran presence back in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to text him. I'm going to have to text him and say, hey, man, it's okay. It's okay. There he is. Everyone's making jokes. You ran away because you were so pissed at the Colts.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I see Jalen Carter here with the Seahawks. I think he can help with the pass rush in the middle, but also he's a run stuffer, and that's really what they need help with. And re-signing Bobby Wagner was a good move by them, but I think they still need to build the center, the middle of that defense, because this is probably his swan song. He's probably done after this year. So you're going to want to get some big road graders up front.
They went defense. They needed to go defense or offensive line. So
That one I'm a little confused by that one, to be completely honest. They hit on a couple of DBs last year. I know he's good and consensus All-American. Really did well at the combine to kind of reinforce what you saw on film. I'm a little bit, I guess they're just rebuilding the Legion of Boom, which so be it, right? They had so much success with it. But I didn't think DB was a big need for them. But you know, you look at some teams treat the first round differently than other teams, and maybe they just had the best grade on Witherspoon, and that was their guy. Some teams draft that way in the first round, which is a good approach in some ways. You're not necessarily trying to fill holes in the first round.
Yeah.
I think he's a great player. I don't want to diminish who he is as a player, because I do think he's a very, very good player. I'm just surprised by that the Seahawks.
You mentioned the Legion of Boom.
That's what it feels like, right?
Well, and for how small he is, he's not even 200 pounds. He's $181. You know, and that's
tall, so maybe they think they can put some weight on him too.
Sure, but dude can hit. He can lay.
Yeah, he does bring it. He does bring it.
And he's not afraid to, passing, running game, anything like that. So, and that's kind of what the Legion of Boom was, aside from Richard Sherman on the running game.
Yeah. Being able to come up and support, hit. That's another place I think that Hendon Hooker could end up, to be honest. Somewhere in the middle rounds, I think Seattle would be an okay place for them to kind of groom him. You're not rushing him back. You have no reason for him to try to come back too soon. He can rehab fully, learn the playbook. Seattle might be a spot that you could see Hendon Hooker go.
I'd embrace that. I'd embrace that right there.
What's that?
I'd embrace Hendon Hooker to Seattle.
I could see that. I could also see Stetson Bennett. I think Pete probably likes a guy like Stetson Bennett, a winner, a good character guy, a leader. I think he fits kind of what I envision as maybe the mold that Pete Carroll looks for in not only players, but especially at the quarterback position. I could see like a Stetson Bennett maybe in the mid to late rounds, 4, 5, 6, something like that, going to Seattle. I think you're absolutely going to see Seattle take a quarterback somewhere between the 4th and 6th rounds, though, Aaron. Absolutely. I agree with you.
It's funny you mentioned both Hendon Hooker and Stetson Bennett. Both older guys.
Yep.
And I want to say when Seattle took Russell Wilson, he was an older.
He was a 5th-year guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 5th-year guy. NC State and Wisconsin.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's another reason too, right? Pete probably sees that kind of that seasoning, that maturity.
Yeah, maturity. There you go. But how long is Pete Carroll going to be coaching? Not just in Seattle.
That's an interesting question, because
he's 72?
Is he still only in his 70s? I say only, but I know he's up there for sure, and he has the energy of like a guy much younger. So it is very possible that he could coach for another 6, 7, 8 years. And I think that's long enough where you do kind of look at that and say, we need a quarterback of the future. And then on top of that is Pete, a guy that's going to groom the next guy.
Yeah.
Take over as head coach, right? Kind of like we thought was happening with Belichick and McDaniels there in New England.
Yeah.
Is that maybe what we see, and he wants to leave some groceries in the cupboard for the next guy,
Yeah. Pete Carroll 71.
Okay. You were much closer than I was. Is it Belichick that's fucking 80?
I don't even think Belichick's 80, is he?
No, I don't know. I know they played last year, and their combined age was like 400. But yeah, that was a really. What's that?
He's 71 too.
Is he really? Jesus Christ! I felt like one of them was fucking 80, but Belichick's been around for 80 years. Somehow he's aging backwards. But that's a really interesting question, right? Because Pete does kind of have a different energy. Belichick's always been kind of curmudgeon. You don't know whether his fucking ticker's still ticking. Whereas Pete, he's an energetic, upbeat, charismatic guy.
Yep, he's jumping on the sidelines. He's
running with the team all the time. Maybe he's got 10 years left. I don't know. Dick Vermeil coached till he was quite old. Oh, Cardinals back in.
Back in now.
Who are they picking? Ooh,
Will Levis.
This is interesting.
Will Levis. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Wow.
Get rid of fucking tiny man over there.
They moved all the way back up to 6 to Schefter thinks it's offensive tackle, huh? Wow, this is a surprise move.
Picks in already. I love it.
Because I didn't really look at the offensive tackle position as anybody going this high. I thought it's a deeper position, but there's no Orlando Pace in this draft that should be going in the top 5, 6. Interesting. They're moving up to go O-line, it seems, huh? Okay. So they're really investing in trying to protect Kyler, huh?
He's not that good.
I agree.
I've been saying it
for a lot of money on him. They got to do something, right?
I've been saying it for 3 years.
I know. Interesting. I thought the Lions would trade out. I didn't see it being Arizona though. I thought this was where we'd see the Texans or the Titans maybe come up and get Will Levis. So Vegas quarterback next. Is that where we see Levis go?
Who's the 6th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft? The Arizona Cardinals select Harris Johnson Jr.
Who is the quarterback now for Vegas?
Jimmy G, and then they have Stidham on the roster too.
No.
I mean, you're not counting on Jimmy G to be there very long. You're probably also not counting on him to play 17 games this year.
Yeah. Atlanta went with Ritter last year.
Yeah, there was some discussion that they might
move on.
Yeah, that they might be in the quarterback market, but
after 1 year, well, that's fucking on you guys for picking him up and whenever they did.
Yeah, it is weird.
The Bears, no.
What's that?
Bears at 9, no.
No, maybe they trade again because I thought Chicago might be where Paris Johnson goes.
Really, no. It might be. You called it, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee might come up to 9, possibly, or maybe they stay pat and they get their guy.
Just stay back because honestly, all those teams in front of you are not going to take a quarterback.
I don't see it. I think the only thing you worry about is someone trading up, but
true, but
stay pat because they're at 11, right? Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you stay pat, possibly because the Eagles are at 10, right?
Yep.
They're not.
No. They just signed her.
Yeah. Maybe Atlanta is where you got to hold your breath.
I still don't think you take 2 quarterbacks back-to-back drafts.
No. I mean, Arizona did it, but that was because fucking Rosen was so bad. And maybe they look at it and say, oh, we didn't spend a lot on Ritter. He was, what, 6th round? They ended up getting him 5th round?
Something.
I don't know. It's interesting. I could see Vegas taking a quarterback. Maybe that's where Levis goes.
Even with Jimmy G?
I guess it depends on what they think, right? Is Jimmy G the answer for the next 3 to 4 years? I think he could be. He's only, what, 31, 32?
I think 32.
I think he certainly could be the answer. I guess it's just going to depend on how they feel about him. Maybe we do. Levis goes 11. Maybe it is
31. Jimmy G.
31. Okay. Yeah, maybe Levis does get all the way to 11. Who else is going to trade up? I guess is the question, right? Who's left?
For Levis, yeah. So
who's left, right? You're looking at Tennessee for sure.
Tampa,
I certainly think should be in consideration as a possible move up. New Orleans, maybe, but they've got to use their draft capital. That team is so cap strapped. They've got to fucking start centering things. Boy, who else? Who else is going to make a move to? So maybe it is. It's 11. It's the Titans. Maybe it was always the Titans just staying put.
Green Bay.
I don't know that we have a good read on what they feel about Love, so maybe.
From what I've seen, I wouldn't.
I don't think he can play, but I don't know what they think. Who else? That might be it. I mean, you're looking at maybe 2 teams, Titans and Bucks. Because I think the Lions are pretty comfortable with Goff. I don't see them pushing.
Cleveland? What about Cleveland?
They signed Watson all that money.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Who's your quarterback?
They say they like Howell, so I don't think we're in the market for a quarterback. Reporting was a little touch and go there for a little while. I was worried that we were going to make a fucking stupid move. I like Sam Howell. I think we need to give him a shot. I think he's got the talent to play in the NFL. I think it's more of, are they going to be able to groom him and get him to the point that he's a regular NFL quarterback?
So I do have a question.
Yep.
There is a sale pending or in place. So which group is making the decisions?
So right now it has to be the group that's already in. I just don't know how much they're consulting.
Gotcha.
If there's any discussion going on. And it's kind of a weird limbo, right? Like this group has to make the decisions of, we're building a franchise, we're building a team, building a roster. But I think in the back of their minds, the reality of the situation is that none of them might be here, right? With new ownership, it's possible. It's possible they might move on, so.
So just over an hour into it, and you have 6 picks.
And We barely made it through fucking 6 in the first fucking hour.
Raiders pick's been in for 5 minutes, but
I know. Jeez. Are they going defense? These guys are so transparent about giving shit away. Whenever they flip the script and start talking about a completely different position, they've gotten the bug in their ear and they're like, oh, I got to sound smart.
Tyree Wilson.
There you go. Tyree Wilson, pass rusher. They do that all the damn time on this fucking broadcast. They're so fucking transparent about it. They get the bug in their ear. Oh, they're taking Tyree Wilson. Oh, I better start talking about defense. Those fucking glasses. Jesus.
Right?
Those are funny. Yeah, his wingspan is nuts, dude. JJ Watt fucking wingspan.
Yeah.
I love what Mel just said there.
What do you say? I have mine turned down.
The Big 12 isn't exactly loaded with elite offensive tackles. He's pass rushing against AOGs, another occupation, guys.
Nice.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like him though. His measurables, I think, translate pretty well. Long, he's pretty strong, and he was pretty athletic at the combine. So, yeah, I think he's big enough and strong enough to play inside if you want him to too. Gives him some more versatility on the front. Max Crosby's pretty versatile. That's another guy that's versatile. You can kind of rotate them around.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Max. Good call.
Yeah. Yeah, pairing him with a guy like Crosby might be a nice 1-2 punch.
2 punch there, yeah. Who's Atlanta take here? I honestly, for Atlanta, I have no idea.
Yeah, that roster is interesting. They were in so many games last year that I did not expect them to be in.
Yeah.
I think they need to build the offensive line. That's probably priority number one. Maybe the defensive backfield. They're gonna go with a guy like
Where's Jalen Carter gonna go? As he was touted as,
there was talk that he might go number 2.
Yeah, and then shows up into the combine and pro day and everything, and basically just kind of shits the bed.
Yeah, and then he had that whole fucking assault charge and shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how far he slides. Maybe Atlanta. I don't know. I mean, they need a lot. I think both the offensive and defensive line is big for them.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'm gonna go corner.
You going with the Oregon corner?
Maybe Christian Gonzalez. Yeah, maybe. I like kind of how this is falling because as a Washington fan, I'm looking at defensive backs and saying there might be somebody there for us. I could see I'd love to see like Joey Porter Jr. maybe at 16. But maybe the Falcons grab him instead of Gonzalez. I don't know. Because I think so Atlanta, if they go defensive back, I think Chicago's got to go either wide receiver or defensive back.
Yeah, they need some. I think they go wide receiver.
I think they go wide receiver too. I think they swung and missed on Claypool last year. DJ Moore's a nice pickup, but I think you've got to get. And if Cole Kmet hadn't started coming on in the second half of the year, I'd be inclined to say Chicago might take Michael Mayer. But I think Cole Kmet playing better in the second half of last year gives them the option and the opportunity to take a wide receiver here at 9. Atlanta's an enigma to me because that roster needs a lot. So I just don't know where they're going to go. Maybe you take best player available. Maybe Jalen Carter goes here. Maybe you just do that instead of worrying about filling a position or how many needs you have on your roster. Maybe you just take a Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about a moment ago, some teams do just draft that way, right? You just first round, you don't even think about it. You take best player on your board and you move on, and then you start filling your roster out in the middle round.
There, yeah.
I also, speaking of Michael Mayer, I wouldn't hate him at 16. What happened?
No, if Michael Mayer is available for the Cowboys, pick him up.
There's been talk that they might trade up to get him.
Tight end and run blocking.
Oh yeah. There's been talk they might trade up to get him. But if he's available at 16, Washington should turn that card in before they can even fucking blink an eye. We need a tight end so bad. Logan Thomas has been fine. He just gets hurt all the fucking time. Yeah, I wouldn't hate getting Michael Mayer at 16.
No, absolutely not.
I really just don't know what Atlanta's going to do here because of just how empty that roster is. To me, they've got holes almost everywhere. I hate to even say that they've got their tight end of the future because Pitts has been so underwhelming in the NFL.
Oh, shocking. Another Florida guy being underwhelming in the NFL.
Got a theme going there.
Huh?
That kid is so nervous.
Yes.
He's pissing himself.
Ooh. Well, at least he's not going to the Eagles.
Dude. Oh, I could have nailed this, but I was like, they're not going to take a running back.
I didn't think they were either. I really didn't.
He fucking passed my head, and I was like, no, they're not going to take a running back. They fucking did. Good. Keep him out of the NFC East. Good.
Right?
Good. Keep him out of the NFC East. Atlanta, huh? Look, it makes sense because you look at their head coach there, Arthur Smith. He was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they had their guy there.
Yep.
The value of the running back position is clear in his world. And they They ran the ball as much as any team in the league last year with Mariota and what they were doing with the read option, and they had a bunch of nobodies that ran decently in that offense. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it does make sense. And honestly, I almost said his name, but then I was like, no, they're not going to take a running back.
I honestly did not think they would.
They fucking did, though. It's a good pick. And again, you go back to maybe that was the best guy on their board. Wow, good for them. Oh, the Eagles.
The Eagles is
In already.
Did Eagles and
They traded up.
they traded up a spot?
They swapped with Chicago.
Yeah.
Are they going to take Jalen Carter and pair him with Jordan Davis?
Oh, fuck.
Fuck off.
Fuck off is right.
Fuck off.
Raul, fuck. Yeah, I think they are.
Oh, shit. Are they going to take – oh, my God.
Yeah, thanks, Shefty.
Oh, my God. With Jordan Davis. Oh, God. And they're losing Fletcher Cox, too. Oh, my God. Oh. This is the luxury you have when you have a bunch of draft capital, too.
Yeah.
Howie's looking smug as fuck.
What's that?
Howie's looking smug as fuck. Howie Roseman. That motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Alex, he was in a good season, but you can get a back like Bijan Robinson, who I think is a combination between Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey, because Steve Sarkisian said he's the best receiver on the team. I think that's too much to pass. You know what? Look, I think we forget just how explosive
Wow.
was like one-of-one type of talent. Like Adrian Peterson, those type of guys. Look, I get you have that discussion there. I'm with you, Mel. Mel's converted. I'm one of these guys who now believe, look, there's just too much evidence that suggests that in the top of the second, late first, you can get running back who are going to be Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
MVP candidates.
Yeah, they're talking about the running back position.
Who's the second rounder? Down in Tennessee. So
Drafting them too high.
But I'll tell you what, moving forward to this pick here with Philadelphia, you think about the veteran presence they have on the defense.
Who the fuck is Philly taking?
Perfect to absorb.
Really?
Remember that day, too. Guy Subway's taking us down to the stage, and Susie, who's with me.
Justin Bijan will be a star in the league. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to be a combo of like Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Apparently he's a fucking killer receiver. I know he's a good pass blocker too. Sarkisian said he was the best wide receiver on the team.
Yeah.
That's fucking dangerous.
Eagles looking to get the final pieces to win it all, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they do take Jalen Carter here, that's probably what they're saying is we want that stout front.
He's such a positive guy that obviously loves football, but wants to help the city, just grow even more than it already is. And for me, my heart is out there for everybody, and I'm gonna bring my faith and my positivity, my happiness, and smile to every kid, every teenager, every adult, everybody out there. So I hope they accept me for me, and it's gonna be a great time.
Welcome to the NFL.
Thank you. Susan, thank you. We're just talking about Philadelphia and then being on the clock right now. We're having this discussion about Dale Carter. I mean, just think of some of the other names. Brandon Grant, Fletcher Cox.
So moved up 4 to move up. Wonder why they felt the need to move up. Did they think the Bears were going to take whoever?
I don't know.
The Bears might have been baiting them too, saying we've got offers. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, it's next year's 4th too. It's not even this year. Interesting.
To come up and take a player that they were interested in. Again, a lot of signals here maybe pointing towards Jalen Carter, who is Mel Kiper's #1 player on his big board. Now, that does seem the direction that this might make sense here, but we've not yet heard anything of that. Eagles tend to
What are we doing?
No shit.
Pick's been in for fucking 7 minutes now. Jesus, Raj. What you doing back there? You and Kraft back there getting fucking massages?
There it goes.
Yep. Interesting. I'm going to run and take a leak before this next pick.
How about it, buddy? How about it? Aaron Eagles have assembled the fucking event. Yeah. You're not too far off right there, bud. Not too far off. Yeah. Way too much commentary. Like Gary said earlier, they got all this TV time and everything else like that. It's ridiculous. But, you know, the Bears pick is already in, and it'll be another 5 minutes before we even get to that. Patty Mahomes, Thanos. Nice. Yeah, he is 15 pounds too heavy. Like,
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Yeah. There are some red flags with him.
Absolutely.
Hell of a player. But, I mean, when you're on that Georgia defense, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to do with thank God. I want to thank my mom, thank my family for being out there for me and supporting me. And it's hard work. The Eagles got the best people, best player in the job. I'm for sure.
The Eagles guys got on the phone with you today. What did you tell them?
Yeah, I told them they got the best player in the job. And, you know, day one when I get there, it's time to work for the Super Bowl.
You've got former teammates there already. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. Doing things with Kobe D, you know, for the partner guys, and for the win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He just picked up a grown ass man, held up the fucking finger. Yeah, it's I don't love seeing the Eagles fucking stack the defensive front like.
No. Nope.
Yeah, that's where I thought Paris Johnson was going to go. They get Darnell right. Okay. I think they reached a little bit, but they also, I think they have the luxury of reaching a little bit.
Yeah.
With the draft capital that they do have. That's high praise from the best pass rusher in the draft. Said he was the hardest player he played against.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Titans picks in. You think Levis?
I think so. I do. I just think, yeah, Aaron, I briefly alluded to that kind of in passing, but I think you're right. When you've got that many studs around you too, it doesn't even necessarily just have to be the system. You've got that many studs around you. It's a little easier to just be good, So typewriter feet. But yeah, Aaron, I think you're onto something there, that it might be a little bit of that. And we saw that a little bit with Jordan Davis last year, right? He wasn't Jordan Davis from Georgia early in the season. Then he figured it out a bit. Then he got nicked up, and that Philly defense really fell apart. And then he came back and played pretty well, but it wasn't Jordan Davis for 17 games. So we'll see how it works out. I don't love that they added him to that defensive front, but who knows?
Oh, come on.
Another fucking break.
The Titans pick's been in.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's take a little break as well. Go relieve. Go get another drink. Whatever you want to do. We'll be right back here after a brief message from our sponsor. All right, we're back here. We're back.
We are back.
Titans pick's been in for the last 7 minutes. We still don't know who they picked.
Oh, gotta get those TV dollars.
Welcome back to Kansas City, where the Tennessee Titans are about to announce the 11th pick in this year's draft, the highest that they've drafted since 2017. They were the only team in the NFL that didn't score 30 points in any game last year.
Jesus. They never scored 30 points last year. A.J. Brown's so bad. So Green Bay's next on the clock. I don't think they're going to take a wide receiver again this year. Maybe they will, but
I think they're going to take a quarterback.
Quarterback. All right.
No, I'm joking. that would be
That would be crazy.
be Green Bay right there.
Yeah. I wonder if is New England finally going to put a fucking quality wide receiver on the field from the draft? Are they going to go get Mario Addison?
Doubtful.
Maybe Detroit. No, Detroit's got enough. Although they could put another guy on the outside. I don't know. I assume this is Will Levis.
I'm assuming that as well.
This has to be. So do we see a fifth quarterback late in the first round?
I would say so, but
I think the Saints could,
yeah, Saints could as well.
depending on who they, how they feel about any of the guys that are left.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Very interesting. So I keep saying the Saints. Maybe they don't because they've got Carr. I know it's a fairly team-friendly deal, but I guess if they're committed to him, maybe they don't. Maybe does Levis even go in the first round now? The Bucks gonna take Levis at what, 19? Is that where they're at?
Possible.
Maybe. The Lions, are they gonna take their quarterback of the future? It's not like Jared Goff's that old, and he played really well last year for them.
He actually played decent.
Yeah, and he's young. I mean, he's what, 29?
He's under 30.
Yeah, 28.
He's just a stupid 30.
But I don't know. The Lions, I feel like
28.
28. Yeah, I feel like the Lions are going defense though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a DB. This might be where you see maybe Gonzalez goes here to the Lions, possibly. I could see that. Maybe a tight end. They do need tight end. Is this where Mayer goes? Maybe. I think it's more DB though. I'm leaning DB. Jesus, the Lions are about to load up in the next 40 picks. Yeah.
Were a lot of those from the Rams?
What'd you say, Still?
Are a lot of those folks from the Rams?
Yeah, they got a little bit from the Rams. They got a little bit in the Darius Slay trade. They just traded Jeff Okuda. I think they got a decent pick out of him. But it's been a lot of trading back, too. They've traded back quite a bit in the last couple of drafts. But I think this is the Rams pick because this was the 6th pick.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I feel like they could have gotten him at the top of the 2nd round. I don't. Oh.
I'm just telling you, when you pair him with DeAndre Swift and David Montgomery, who they already have on the roster, what do you think Dan Campbell's going to want to do this year? He want to run the football. Jameer Gibbs can do it all. Transfer from Georgia Tech.
I mean, I like him. Golly, at 12, though? He's the fastest fucking – he's unbelievably fast. Holy cow.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I don't think you needed to waste your pick on.
You could have gotten him in like 25 more picks, 30 picks, 30 more picks. I don't know. I just don't see it. He is a stud. I can't dispute that, but wow. That's perplexing.
Yeah.
To say the least. I get what they're trying to do on that offense. They're trying to be skilled and fast. They've got St. Brown. They've got Jamison Williams after his 6-game suspension, who's going to be one of the 3 or 4 fastest players in the league. You put Jameer Gibbs out there at running back. You can kind of split him out. I know they're excited, but
yeah,
I just don't think you had to draft him at 12.
Nope.
That's our first big reach of the draft, though. I mean, other than
no, it's not.
Richardson, yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. I'm still confused by why they took him at 12. Excuse me.
You just went to commercial. You're going to commercial again. The Packers pick is in.
Oh my God. Ay, ay, ay.
There's a new Transformers movie now?
Yeah, they're making another one.
Oh, come on. They made 2 too many. It's going to be 3 too many.
Yeah, they could have stopped about fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right, so Packers, what do you think? Offensive line?
You know,
Defense?
they've drafted defense in the first round every goddamn year for the last fucking 20 years.
So they switch it up and go offense then?
Wouldn't it be just the most unbelievable troll job if
They went and got a wide receiver.
they drafted a wide receiver here in the first round after Aaron bitched for
Okay,
15
so I bet
years?
you if they do, they go with
Mario Addison or Quentin
no,
Johnson.
no, I'm gonna say Ohio State, Jixba, whatever.
Jigba?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of wide receiver talent on the board. It is interesting how much wide receiver talent there still is on the board. There's going to be some big studs in the second and third round at the wide receiver position,
Yep.
I think. Interesting. Yeah, maybe Smith and Jigba, a nice possession guy to go opposite of Christian Watson, who can kind of take the top off the defense. And if Dobbs can ever stay healthy, they might have a nice 1-2-3 punch there with Watson, and you put Smith and Jigba on the outside, and you put Dobbs in the slot. And they did lose what's his face this offseason, so maybe they do go wide receiver. Do they go wide receiver?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You think so? You're convinced?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I can see that, or I can see O-line. One or the other. They've got to build around Love. It's like they're incapable of drafting an offensive player in the first round.
Yeah.
How many fucking women's he got in his life? Is he Mormon?
Yes.
Interesting. I guess I just don't understand what they're doing. They just keep drafting fucking defense. They must feel like they're going to be able to get some good talent on the offensive side in the second and third round. Zay Flowers, too. I keep forgetting to say his name with wide receivers. There is a lot of wide receiver talent left. I feel like New England's going to go Zay Flowers now that they're on the clock. He played at Boston College, right up the road. I think they're going to go Zay Flowers here. Unless they're gonna keep pushing to build that offensive line. But I think this pick is going to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Trade alert. Trade pick. Yeah, who we trading it to?
They traded it. Interesting. Well, they're not taking offense then. To the Steelers. The Steelers coming up for a wide receiver? Who are they coming up for? Offensive line? Are they
Offensive line.
Are they going to go O-line? Are they moving up to get one? Well, they only moved, 3 spots? I think they were at 17, right? For a pass rusher, huh? They want to pair somebody with TJ.
Yeah, just gonna say,
Huh.
Bobby over there.
Interesting.
Who you got though? Who you got?
Nolan Smith, maybe. Nolan Smith might be the most athletic defensive player in this draft. Okay.
David Jets.
Yeah, I would have thought offensive side of the ball. I would have thought offensive line. They need it. They need it so bad. Najee Harris's career has been stifled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something, huh? They lost out on the offensive tackle because of the pick swap with the Packers.
They get the
So the Patriots get a fourth. Okay.
Is that this year or is that next year?
What's that?
Was that this year or next year? I didn't quite see it all the way.
I think it was this year.
Was it this
Said
year?
pick number 120.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. Must be New England thinks that their guy's going to be there. I know that they never hesitate to trade back, but
Cornerback or no?
offensive tackle. Good for them.
Yeah, they needed that. Otherwise, Najee Harris's career is basically just going to be coming to an end here in the next year or two.
Basically. Running backs get what, 4 years, 5? Maybe they
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
It's a good pick for them, though. They need desperately to rebuild that offensive line.
Number 2 in the 2020 recruiting class. He's only started 19 games, so the future is ahead of him. But look at the athleticism. Get out in space. That is a big man, 6'5", over 300 pounds, out in space. But this is also what I love. When you get out in space, can you finish? Hey, DB, highlight on your back. That's finishing power from a young man. He came in 4 games the first year, 15 games the second year. The lateral agility. You can play left tackle. You can block the team's best edge rusher. You got to get to have your feet dance like a typewriter. He can do that. Another guy trained by Willie Anderson, who the future is going to be.
Typewriter feet is this year's fucking buzzword. Right. Remember, it used to be fluid hips,
Fluid hips. Yep.
quick twitch. That was a fucking buzzword for a while. Fucking crazy. What's going on with this damn curtain? The curtain's fucking blowing at me. Get a little wind here.
A little windy there.
A little bit. It's not terrible. It's just like a fucking gust like picked up. Temperature's fucking perfect outside here, though.
It's raining here. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it'd be
Yeah. It's like 60 right now, I think.
solid.
I'm out here in fucking shorts and a t-shirt. It's beautiful.
Oh boy. Yeah, the Jets are going to get a wide receiver here. Here's
Oh, they're going with another one? Okay.
Why not?
Just stack them up.
Yeah.
You got Aaron Rodgers.
Get a Njigba, Ohio, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Jigba.
Yeah, Njigba.
Maybe you pair him back up with Garrett Wilson. No, you don't take an offensive lineman now.
Absolutely not. The Jets had 3 offensive linemen that they were considering as the number 13 and now the number 15 pick after the trade. They're all gone. And so now, if you're Joe Douglas, you're working the phone. I mean, he wants draft picks because they don't have a 3rd-round pick. They gave up one of their 2nd-round picks in the trade for Aaron Rodgers and don't believe this.
Bless you.
Thank you.
If they can move back, Joe Douglas will move back. If not, they stay home, and there's some options here. I think Elijah Cansey, the defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, really fits what they want to do. They're re-signing. Quentin Williams are going to hopefully get the deal done soon. That would be a great interior of that defense, but they could go in a couple different directions. But I know Joe's working the phones right now. Yeah, we'll take moving down. I'll tell you a name that we talked about, Todd. I'll let you go about that before. Pass rusher coming off the end. You can't deny when you get there with his bend. We know how important bend is for a guy that was going to test him and has an off the chart. Solid in terms of drive the real Irish State. He's a master of the stretch back. Now, I want to see where Will McDonald comes off the board. Will McDonald the 4th. I think he'll be enough fit for somebody as we get into the Irish State of the round 1. And that people make a lot of sense when you understand who the head coach is, former defensive coordinator Robert Salah, how they won in San Francisco. They dominated up front. So to add a 3 technique that can rush along with Quentin Williams, to add a game guy that can rush and make the pass rush even better. Here's the other thing, too. I mean, just throwing it out there. Look at another wide receiver. Well, that's where I was going to say. 2 receivers going for Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State. Zay Flowers, Boston College. 2 guys that can work in the slot right away. That would be exciting too. You definitely have to now be able to adjust and adapt. Because you may want to move out, but you can't. Who's going to look across the board out and you see like who's sticking out? Somebody's got to be sticking out for them. At a position that maybe they didn't expect that they would have to be at this position. But now they're going to.
I don't remember seeing that Boston College receiver at all.
They suck.
I know.
But yeah, I mean he's a big physical, he's athletic, and he's just stuck on a bad team.
Did he make some noise at the combine?
Yeah. He, I think his vertical and broad jump were pretty solid, and then I think he just not on people's radar because of how bad they are.
This is my favorite assignment of the year. If the Jets draft the quarterback right now, I'm leaving.
I mean, he just said if the Jets draft the quarterback, he's leaving.
Between the two of you victory here if I can. If the Jets are not able to make a trade in the next 2 minutes and 9 seconds, what direction should they go? I would take Elijah Cansey. He's like the tackle from Pittsburgh, and I would understand receiver. I'll take one more time. I would take Nolan Smith. I'm looking for speed. I like Will McDonald, but Nolan is different. He's got different.
I like Elijah.
What the?
He could be an Aaron Donald type.
He's playing cards over there. That's awesome.
What are they playing? Gin? You playing gin? Yeah, Mike, there isn't any good offensive line left, so it's not offensive line for the Jets. Yeah, Smith and Jigba out of Ohio State would. I mean, you pair him back with Garrett Wilson. So they're celebrating. Did they just? I don't know what they're celebrating. There's someone's still on the phone, so I'm assuming they made the pick. Oh, okay. Pick is in now.
It is.
Okay. I mean, I would say you take Kalijah out of Pittsburgh as a defensive tackle. You pair him with Quinnen Williams, maybe. He's a guy that measures a lot like an Aaron Donald, both physically and athletically. But, oof. Do you go with a DB opposite of Sauce? Maybe you get a
Sauce was good last year.
Christian Gonzalez you can put on the other side.
You think the Jets asked Aaron for his input on who they should go?
Maybe. I mean, if they learned from any of Green Bay's mistakes, right? He used to complain that Green Bay didn't take his input. Maybe. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe it is Nolan Smith. I don't know. Maybe they're adding speed. I feel like it's got to be defense, though. I don't see them taking a wide receiver in the first round. I just don't. They're so loaded offensively already, too.
Yeah.
Maybe tight end. Maybe Michael Mayer, possibly. But I don't know that they're – I just think it's going to be defense. I just do. All right. Let's see. Oh, who's this little guy? He's going nuts. He's not as nervous as the other kid was.
He's not.
Okay. I'm going Nolan Smith. That's my prediction.
Nolan Smith.
That's my prediction.
I mean, what? Three Georgia guys already?
Already. 3 in the top 15. Hey. All right. What do you got for me, Kyle? All right, kid.
Will McDonald. Love it. Love the kid's BDE.
That was awesome, dude.
That kid had some
Nuts on
BDE.
the table. Put his nuts on the table. You know what? I like that pick, though. Honestly, Will McDonald, linebacker. Herb, I know you can't stream right now, but Will McDonald, I think he's a perfect fit in Salah's defense. They mentioned the high motor thing, but also he's a guy that can play hash to hash, good tackler. Yeah. He is an older guy, though. But Yeah, he's a guy that can move around the field, play a lot of different positions. Interesting. Very interesting. Before Nolan Smith, I'm surprised by that. I honestly thought Nolan Smith was going to be the next guy off the board, but the next edge rusher off the board. But I think this is a pretty good pick for the Jets.
You almost wonder if with the way he's built and everything and his speed, if they'll try to put him down as a edge rusher too.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a guy a little bit. I don't want to shoot too high, but I think he's a guy that reminds you a little bit of a Micah Parsons, who can kind of play multiple positions. I don't know that at the NFL level he would play a whole lot of stand-up inside linebacker, but I think he could play like nickel.
Oh, Commanders going Levis?
No, they fucking better not. I'll be fucking pissed.
Of course, commercial break though.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I hope we go Michael Mayer, to be honest. I would love to see tight end filled out.
Hey, if you don't, New England's next.
Yeah, they fucking would.
They would, bud.
They fucking would. New England or Detroit if he gets past New England. If New England decides to go with a wide receiver on the outside, I think Detroit could certainly go Michael Mayer, but yeah, New England fucking certainly would. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I'd love to see a Michael Mayer here. Maybe a corner. I know that we've got some restructuring possibly to do with Fuller.
Just go ahead and just like draft someone from School of the Blind.
Yeah, that's probably what Ron would fucking do. That fucking guy. Oh, I think I want Michael Mayer here. I think I do. I think I want to go.
Solid pick. I hate it, but that's a solid pick for you.
I miss the days when we had a guy like a Vernon Davis that could make plays from the tight end position. And Mayer certainly doesn't have Vernon Davis' speed, but I love the combination play. He's a good run blocker, but he's also a fucking incredible wide receiver.
Yes, he is.
Or incredible receiving tight end. I like that. If we go corner, I can't hate on that. That safety was it not Chris Smith. That's from Georgia. The safety from Bama, though, his name's elude me right now. I wouldn't hate that as a pick either. I think we need a little help at safety. Either tight end or defensive backfield, I'll be happy here. If we go tight end or we go defensive backfield, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Just not Will Levis or Hendon Hooker. I don't know why they showed Hendon Hooker, but just not Will Levis, honestly. And I'm good with it. Yeah, we might not get to 5 quarterbacks though. Looking at what's left,
yeah,
I think we're going to see Levis go somewhere in the 20s, early 20s. I think someone's going to make a move for him, and then that's probably going to be it for day one. I never thought Hooker would get into the first round. I just don't see it.
No, especially with the knee injury.
Yeah, I just think coming off the injury, I don't think a team is willing to spend a first-round pick on it.
Yep.
I could certainly see him potentially coming off the board fairly early in round 2, though. All right, let's see how bad Ron fucks this up.
For those of you that are joining us after this pick, Gary and I are going to be signing off for this part of the Tailgate Trash Talk NFL Draft Edition.
With the 16th pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Emmanuel Forbes.
Okay,
Mississippi
Yep.
State.
I'm okay with that.
look at that one.
For the football now, this consensus All-American played 3
Yeah.
seasons at
Okay.
picks.
Yep.
All right.
6 of them back
All right.
Yep.
Good.
Ball skills. I like him.
contacts now. Only 2 active NFL
Yeah.
have that many for their career. 16 interceptions.
Good. All right.
Yep. I like that pick. I do.
As long as you're okay with it. buddy.
I think he fits the scheme too. I think he's exactly the opposite of what William Jackson was. Wow, New England's pick is in already. I think he's exactly the opposite of what William Jackson was, and that was a very bad signing on our part. He's a guy who can play with his eyes in the backfield, and that's not William Jackson. I think this is a good pick, especially if we either move Fuller back into the slot or if we have to either restructure or let Fuller go. I think this is a guy that can play opposite of St. Just. I like that pick. He wasn't on my radar. I'll admit that 100%. He was not on my radar, but I like that pick. I don't get to bitch about Ron as much as I usually do.
I was waiting for it, bud.
I like the pick. I can't even complain. I can't at all. I like that it's a fit for the scheme. That's the biggest thing for me. It wasn't a pick that was just made because you like a guy. He fits Jack Del Rio's scheme. He's exactly what we need. Him and St. Just play very similarly with the added ball skills that he has. St. Just is much more of a stay in phase, positional, keep you from getting to the ball kind of guy. I like that Forbes can take the ball away from you. So I like it. I don't get to say this very often, but
That is
good
true.
job, Ron. Good job, Ron.
No.
Yes, it has. But hey, when I can say good job, Ron, I will.
Yep.
Patriots wasted no time. Gonzalez, okay.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, another fucking cornerback for Bill to make into a all-pro.
Yep. Oh. Well, it's been a good 2 hours, Gary.
Yeah, it is. This thing just takes so
It's
long.
going to be another 2 hours. We also have lives beyond this podcast. So, but we'll be gearing back up here in the near future.
Yes, sir.
Talking some college football. But it was good to be back here for the NFL draft and talk about some of the guys that we've been talking about for the past 2 years. So,
Absolutely.
with that being said, this has been a great edition of Tailgate Trash Talk NFL Draft. For Gary, I'm the Big Stove. We are out.